Is this team
Yeah,
going to be scary if Zion Williamson truly does come back for the playoffs?
definitely. Definitely.
But what is their ceiling if they are fully healthy?
Um,
Because their current standing is the 8th seed. They're tied with the Lakers for being a half game back from the 5th seed. And like they're in, unless they completely fall out and lose these last 4 games, they should at least be a play-in team.
yeah. Um, I I don't think you want to play Memphis, so that worries me. I think teams might even be looking at the plan right now and thinking, a team like the Pelicans lose, say if the season ends today and you lose to the Lakers in the first game and then you win your second one and you play Denver,
Mm-hmm.
that series could go. We hear all this talk about, Denver, number 1 seed in the West, Jokic. I take a look at history and I'm thinking to myself, Denver's never won before. Grizzlies have
Wow.
never won before. That's like the thing with the West is it's completely wide open. Even the Suns have their issues. So I think, if you're New Orleans, probably you want a top 6 seed, but you probably want the 8th seed rather than the 7th seed, but they're still going to take the 7th seed if they get the 7th seed. And, Zion or no Zion, they're still a really good team with Mr. B.I. doing his thing and CJ. And, they got some depth with Richardson at the deadline there. Herb Jones, Trey Murphy. They're a hot team. That's what it's about, being in the playoffs the last couple of weeks. You want to be hot, firing in all cylinders, and that's what the Pelicans are getting to. So no matter who they play in the first round, if they're in the first round, they're going to keep it fun. We'll see what Zion, fingers crossed on Zion coming back. I think if he comes back, I don't think the Pelicans will get out of the second round, but I think that's perfectly cool. That's still a lot of momentum heading into the offseason there with all the injuries they sustained. Zion, to CJ missed a huge chunk of the year.
Mm-hmm.
A second round playoff appearance would be a continual step in the right direction.
No, and especially from all the injuries and all the turmoil and chaos that they've suffered, like it has not been an easy road for this team. So I agree. I think it'd be huge if they were able to get themselves another playoff, or especially if they can go in and let's say if they do play the Sacramento Kings as a 6th seed, or if they do play, I think what is it, the Grizzlies are the 2nd seed right now,
Yeah.
and the 1st seed's the Nuggets. So, and they shock somebody, and even if they are a second round exit, if they could shock somebody in the first round, I think that's a really good momentum, especially if Zion Williamson is there to help them shock somebody.
Yeah.
And I just think you want to get as many playoff experience as you can, get as much, games that matter experience. I think that's why the Oklahoma City Thunder are really making this strong push to make it into the play-in of the playoffs, so their guys get those reps in games that matter.
Yeah.
So for me, I think that is a big one. Anything else you want to say? Is there any weakness you want to look at this team? I think the only weakness for this team is inconsistency. Some nights it just doesn't look like everyone's firing on the same cylinders. Either it be Herb Jones or Trey Murphy or CJ McCollum or Jonas Valanciunas. And the weird thing with Jonas Valanciunas, some nights they can't even play him. They have that like Steven Adams problem where like Jonas can only play like 17 minutes.
Yeah. They don't take too many threes. They're a good 3-point shooting team. They don't take too many threes. If New Orleans can get out of the first round, I think with what they went through this year, it's a huge success for them. But yeah, like last year against Phoenix, even if you get that 7 seed against Memphis, you take them to 6 or 7. It just kind of is what it is. Injuries happen.
No, I agree. Anything else you'd like to say before we switch to our final topic I want to talk about?
No,